Hello everybody, my name is Nemo and this is another video of Duels of the Planeswalkers 2013. Now, this one, we're gonna have another episode of building the decks, and this time I'm going to be building, come on, words. I can speak words. I can speak words now. I don't know, something is gone. Like, I know the normal song is Rain, but then I'd make some kind of parody and I'd have to use something that would prevent me from saying words. Either way, wow, that is a really bad intro, but I did my best, really. We're gonna be building Aura Summons this time, so let's get right into it. And this is probably going to be the shortest deck build I can make in Duels of the Planeswalkers 2013, because, well, I was looking at this deck, right, and I had already done a deck build on it, and I'd even recorded about 3 games with it. But something I didn't like about this deck is, well, first off, it's an Aura deck. And Aura decks always have the problem that they rely on luck. Because you have to draw your guys and you have to draw your auras. And then you probably also have to have a hexproof guy, or you need to... Now, there's a lot of factors that that require luck. So that's something that holds the deck back. But if that something weren't to hold the deck back, it would be completely overpowered, right? Because you can get some really crazy auras here that could make your guys way too powerful. So it's a very powerful deck, but only when it wants to be. Sometimes you just completely, you don't get luck, and your deck pretty much fails, and you beat yourself. Like, your deck is what beats you. It's not the opponent, it's not the deck they're playing, it's your deck that beats you because you didn't draw what you needed to draw. So very luck-based deck in Aura deck. So that first of all. Now, also it's two colors. So that means you need to draw blue mana, you need to draw white mana, you need to draw blue spells, you need to draw white spells, you need to draw guys, you need to draw auras. Am I making sense already? It's very, very luck-based. So, then there's another problem. Do you see the mana cost on this card? 2 white and a 1. This one, 2 white and a 1. 2 white and a 1. I mean, there's plenty more where that came from. 2 white and 2. Wait, I'm skipping one of these. Oh, it's in the deck already at the start. Alright. So this guy, 2 blue and a 1. You get the point. There's a lot of these cards that require 2 of a certain color. Like this one. And here's another one. And here's another one. And all of these are very, very powerful. And here's another one. And you pretty much require to run at least, like, for instance, Imperial Armor. The deck can't be without it. Flicker-Wisp is a very powerful card. So many of these cards that do require 2 colors, and of course Daybreak Coronet, they are pretty much required to be in the deck. So you also, not only do you have to draw both colors, you have to draw both colors twice. So because of that, it's a very inconsistent deck. So I was thinking about that problem, and I have a solution. All of a sudden, I found a solution. So we're going to be building this deck, and let's see how fast I can do it. Ready? Start. And we'll have some of this, we'll have some of that, we'll have some of these, some of this. And let's add these, let's add these. Let's go to the start here. And these can go. This can go. This can go. This can go. Oh, these can go. Almost missed. This can go. Ocular Halo, don't need you, bro. Don't need that. Oh, oops. Get back here, you. Mind Control can go. And what am I missing? I'm missing something. I'm missing something. Oh, even Mimeomancers. Those can go. And we're pretty much done now. So as you can see, I take out all the blue. And then we have to look at the mana curve a bit. Well, first of all, though, I don't want to run 4 Indestructibilities. That's a little bit too much. And looking at the mana curve, I probably want to take out at least one of these. And probably the other one as well. Because the Sun Titans actually work better when you build a deck this way. And then let's look at these. I don't need 2. I don't need these cards twice. So we'll take those out. And there's something more. Oh, these don't have to be in the deck. So those can go. And that's the deck. that is the deck. So that's a pretty quick deck build, am I right? Wow. So yeah, you just take out all the blue and then you take out the worst cards that remain. And that's the deck. That's the way the deck runs best. I've tried it this way. I've tried like 7 test games, and the deck is very, like, a lot more consistent now. And you don't need this blue. The one thing you're missing is hexproof creatures. Like, all the hexproof requires blue. So you don't have hexproof anymore. And that is something that, you know, that was powerful about this deck. But I think what you gain in return is the consistency. And that makes this deck a lot more powerful. And you still have 4 of these Spear Dancers, which are also very, very good for the deck. You are required to run a few less powerful cards like Auramancers, which weren't too powerful when you also had the blue. But now that you don't have the blue trickery, they are actually better as well. Cards I really like, cards that were really good in blue is of course Mammoth Umbra. The Invisible Stalkers were really good. Narcolepsy was really good. This card wasn't too terrible. Geist of Saint Traft was probably the most powerful card when you were running blue, so you're gonna be missing that. Ophidian Eye, of course, is gonna be missed. Grand Arbiter Augustin, honestly, I haven't seen him do too much for me. Probably because he doesn't really fit the theme of the auras. But he is a very powerful card, but like he doesn't like benefit auras or anything. So I never really got too much out of him, to be honest. Drake Umbra, that was a powerful card, you know, but that's it. And maybe the Sovereigns, but that's it. Like most of the powerful cards and all the creature boost, all the +1/+1 counters come from white. Like Imperial Armor is very powerful. Griffin Guide is the powerful auras, and the Pariah and Indestructibility combos, those still exist. You still have Wall of Reverence. The most powerful cards are the white cards, and you still have those. And the deck is very inconsistent in drawing its lands. Of course, you do want 4 Evolving Wilds still, even though you only have white in the deck. You still have to run all these 4 Evolving Wilds, because then you have 24 lands. And you do need 24 lands, because you have a metric ton of 5-drops, and you have 2 6-drops. So, I mean, you do need them. The reason Sun Titan is better now is because there's nothing I really need to, like, I can't tutor for Infiltrator's Mage Mark or stuff like that that makes me unblockable, or like there's no Followed Footsteps in the deck anymore that I can tutor for. So that was really good with Auratouched Mage, was Followed Footsteps. But since that's no longer in the deck, since we're not running blue, I feel like Sun Titan is the better card now. And the very powerful auras are Imperial Armor and Griffin Guide, and you can get those back with Sun Titan, so that's very, very powerful. Of course, Nomad Mythmaker, when you're playing it all white, is even more powerful than it already was. Like Daybreak Coronet becomes insanely powerful in the mono white version, and you'll see that since you don't have to worry about lands, like at least land colors, that you don't have to take certain hands because of the land ratio, color ratio in them or something like that. And that means that the rest of the deck becomes more consistent as well, being able to draw creatures and auras. You are running only 37.5 creatures. Actually, I might want to do something about that, to be honest with you. Let's see here. What could I guess I'd have to add another Totem Guide Heartbeast and take out one of these Mammoth Umbras. Okay, 40% creatures, I'm a little happier with that. Like, I like this card better than Totem Guide Heartbeast, but since the creature ratio was so low, I guess this is the better way to go. Okay, well, that's the deck. I can't really talk more about it, although I can say a few tricks that were possible with the blue deck, if you do intend on running it anyways like that. Academy Researchers I found to be a very invaluable card when you were running it with the blue, because it gets around counterspells. Like, if you play this into the counterspell, they're kind of screwed, because if they counterspell it, then they wasted the counterspell on what is essentially a 2/2. And if they don't counterspell it, you suddenly equip some kind of insane aura on it, and they had to counterspell it, you know? So, whether they do or do not counterspell it, they're screwed. Ophidian Eye was obviously a very good card. By the way, you could enchant your opponent's creature with this and draw cards off of it, because the U, whenever you read an aura, the U in it is always the owner of the aura and not the owner of the creature. So, when it says you may draw a card, that means whenever they attack you with that creature, you draw a card. So maybe they don't want to attack you. If they've got Ophidian Eye on it, and since it does have flash, you can like do it when they're already attacking and draw a card off it. It's great. Some other tricks you could do was this card actually, Infiltrator's Mage Mark was always nice to play on their creatures as well, because again the creatures you control means your creatures, like the owner of the enchantment, so the one playing Aura Servants. So if you play this on their guy, then they'd have to two for one themselves to get rid of it by killing their own creatures. So that was always a nice trick as well. Yeah, there's a lot of trickery that was involved with the blue cards, which you don't even have to get into with the white cards now. Something nice, by the way, Flicker Wisp. Sometimes I've had this happen a few times where I'd play Flicker Wisp and actually tap my own land against the burn deck, for instance, and I'd only have 3 lands on the board, so I'd Flicker Wisp my own land. My own land would get back to me untapped because it comes back untapped at the end of my at the beginning of my next end step, right? So I'd have 1 untapped land then, and I could suddenly play Gift of Granite with flash. I've had that trick happen a few times, where I was able to keep my Flicker Wisp on the board because of that, by doing that against Mindstorms or Born of Flame. So that's pretty cool. Against Goblins, I suppose it works too. You're running 2 Guardian Seraphs, by the way. That's a very powerful card. Like, all of these cards are just really powerful now, and the deck is very consistent. So this is definitely, I feel, the way to go with this deck. I can't say much more about it, because, you know, there's not much choices to be made after you've already decided that it's got to be white. So